to you by AffordableClassifieds.com, our new classifieds and auction site, launching soon.
Would you like to know about what electrically heated gear can do for your riding? How it can make you more comfortable, extend your season, make those kind of uncomfortable rides perfectly comfortable, and make your riding season much, much longer? Want to know all about the new Harley-Davidson electric riding apparel? Stay tuned and keep watching. Well, I'm here testing Harley-Davidson's electrically heated riding apparel, basically the undergarments and gloves. Now I'm testing two different versions. I'm testing the standard version that has an off switch, low, medium, and high, kind of like the gloves, same switch, same colors. Red is for high. And I'm testing that jacket liner and gloves. But I'm also testing their one-touch remote control operated apparel, which is the same apparel, but it works off of a remote control. It doesn't have the red button there, it doesn't have the switch on the garment. It has a remote control, which is the orange light on my wrist there. And that, I'm using the pant in combination with the socks. Now, Harley-Davidson does make a exterior pant that is heated. That's how you get the button control on the pant. You have to get a pant that is a combination pant and electrically heated, not an undergarment. At this time, no undergarment is offered in that configuration. And in addition, the pant does not come with provisions for the electrically heated socks. To use the electrically heated socks, you need to use the one-touch remote control operated pant, which has the plugs for the socks. I know it's confusing. We'll try with what I'm saying and the graphics we put up to explain it. Now, of course, there's a couple things to determine how cold you get, how these garments work. One of which is the speed you're going. Going slow right now, it's 28 degrees, no problem at all. If you're traveling 60, 70 miles per hour, then the garments are going to have to work a lot harder to keep you warm. The other part of the equation is how long are you going to be in the cold? If you go from a warm environment, say up a mountain, and it gets real cold, you use the gear, and then you go down the mountain when it warms back up, that's a lot easier scenario than just traveling straight in cold weather. And that will determine what temperatures you can travel in comfortably. Okay, here I am in the danger zone, so to speak. It's 21 degrees. Anything that used to be water is no longer water, it's ice. Now, normally, even with electric gear, you can't go to these temperatures, nowhere near this, but I'm on a touring bike. Lots of power to pump out for electric gear, and lots of protection. On a sport bike, non-ferret bike, whatever, 32 degrees, maybe to 30, we're wearing full electrics layered up. You can survive for a while, not long term. 29 degrees, kind of the cutoff for me, depending on the bike. But as you can see, the temperature right here keeps changing. Upper right, it says 22 right now. But let me tell you what I'm wearing so you get a sense for what I'm doing. On my feet, I have the Tourmaster Solution boot, kind of God's gift to low-cost, long-lasting, comfortable, affordable boots. Then I have my proven warmest socks, and I have the Harley-Davidson sock liners above that inside my boot. Then I have Levi's, the Harley-Davidson pant over the Levi's, because you want to wear pants because when you get somewhere, you want to have pants on. and then the Tourmaster overpant without a liner in it over that. And then up top, a shirt, and what's important is it's tucked into your pants. You just can't do it any other way. And right above that, the Harley-Davidson full sleeve liner jacket and a Tourmaster jacket with the liner inside of it. So it's a tight fit. It's a fit I know with many electrics, so I'm comparing apples to apples, so to speak. So that's what I'm wearing, and 22 degrees. Right now I know that if I didn't have the boot liners in, I would have very cold feet, and it would go to painful feet, then it would go to throbbing feet. Right now they're not warm, but they're not cold at all either, and we'll see how this goes with more time in these temperatures. It's early on. One of the things I will say is the speed you travel is also very important. Like, I'm cruising slow speeds through the mountains. Higher speeds, freeways, much worse. And then the longevity, you know, can you ride an hour? Can you ride hour upon hour? You know, that's something you have to determine what's safe and good for you and comfort. But it all changes. It's all variables. Now what I'm doing on my hands, I have one glove on, one glove off, as you can see. Left hand, the glove that's on high right now, is just fine. Is it warm? No. But it's not cold in the least. It's just fine. Right hand, finger's already getting cold, and I know what's to come, and it's not going to feel good. But what a better way to compare what you're doing. Up top, jacket liner, I am toasty warm and on my way towards kind of being a little hot. We'll see how long that lasts, but I can turn it down. So this is kind of the extreme of what you can do wearing electric riding gear. Once you wear electric riding gear, it will change your riding life. It's that good. It changes everything that much. Now, even when it's like cool and you put electrics on, it makes it 10 times better as well, because you're just so darn comfortable. You're not like, oh, it's kind of cold, wish I wasn't. No, it's just like perfect. You revel in the heat. So the boot liners are really lightweight and very thin. They're like almost nothing. They plug into the bottom of the pant nicely. Wires are long enough. They're big, slide over anything. Really nice. This is my first time wearing them, and so far I really like just the simple function of them all. The pant is really nice, although I wish it had a zipper slit all the way up it so you could put it on and off easily over jeans. That would make a huge difference. Now when you get a pant, the front is strategically heated. The back isn't really heated, and early on you can feel the back of your legs getting cool, and that sensation usually goes away. Thing is, if you had double the electric elements in there, you would be using double the wattage, and there is a limit, especially on, you know, smaller displacement bikes that don't put out as much amperage. But they're really trim fitting. I really like it. They're made as an undergarment, and so far working great, and yesterday they work great as well. The jacket, I really like it. It pumps out tons of heat, which is exactly what I want. Believe me, heated sleeves are what you want to do, because they're the thing that'll keep your hands from getting cold quicker. They're the things that will allow you to warm your hands back up as temperatures rise. In my book, it's the only way to go. Now it has a tall collar. I wish it was a little bit taller, like some of the other garments I've worn, but it's plenty fine. The thing I care about most with the jacket is that it pumps out massive heat, and that's pretty much what this jacket liner does, which is absolutely perfect. Now I'm really happy with the controls on the jacket and the gloves. You hold it for like 2 seconds to turn the power on, and then you cycle through low, medium, and high, and it's different color for the different heat levels. Doesn't take long to remember those. Jacket that I'm wearing and the gloves are that way, and it works really well. And the battery operated gloves, which I'm on battery power now, I could connect it to the liner. It's really cool. You can heat up your gloves before you go outside into the cold. And it says on high, which I'm on, you have an hour of full heat. Well, I used them for about an hour and a half on high yesterday, and they were still going. Now, it wasn't putting out full heat, I don't think, but I was plenty comfortable. And then when I turned them off, my hands got cool really quick. So it was enough heat after an hour and a half to be giving me warmth enough to make a big difference. I mean, right now, my fingers on this hand starting to hurt. And what comes next is they'll start to feel numb, and then I'll do lots of hand exercises. Left hand, perfect. Typically my feet would feel like this hand, but they don't. They feel normal to ever slight hint of what could be cold. I mean, it's just borderline right there. That's what I'm feeling. And if you want to penetrate more with the cold, just speed up. Well, it's warmed up quite a bit, 35 degrees, so I'll increase my speeds. I'm absolutely good to go except for my frozen fingertips on the right hand. What's cool is I'm getting some strong winds. Yeah, call me sick, I'd love to ride into wind as well, but it just gives you more real world elements. So absolutely good to go. What I really am enjoying is my feet being comfortable, because I know last night they were not. They weren't bad, credit to the Harley, but they were not comfortable. The thing about the Harley gloves, they're leather gloves. They're very soft, supple leather, you know, pre-curved fingers, all those things. I don't know about the insulation, I haven't seen anything on that, but they're pretty warm without the electrics on, you know, no slouch whatsoever. But what I really like is they're roomy, they're cut properly, which so many gloves are cut wrong, whether it be the thumb or the fingertips or a little bit too little of a material and it makes it tight and terrible. No, Harley knows what they're doing. They've been doing garments, high quality garments, for so long. They've worked with the best vendors in the world in the past. They know what they're doing. I know that from experience as well. But the gloves fit proportionally excellent, and there is absolutely no break-in in these gloves. You put them on, you're good to go. Good feel of the controls. You know, they don't have, you know, you go to a snowmobile glove and you suddenly don't have a feel for the controls on a motorcycle. That's why they don't work most of the time. Whatever's in these, it works. Just to find control or feel the controls, and absolutely no break-in. They're very soft, supple gloves. Now you're going to want to use that wrist strap on the top of it, because, you know, something, heaven forbid, happens and you go sliding down the road. Well, you got a heavy battery, if that's the way you're powering them. You have a heavy battery in your glove. Well, it's going to be heavy, so it's going to fling off easily. So that top strap is more important on these gloves than most. Snow. You guys know how it is. You get cold, especially your hands, your feet. You can no longer feel things properly, and you can't ride normally because it's not safe because you're frozen. Well, it doesn't have to be that way. My body is absolutely toasty up top. The bottom section is absolutely fine, no cold spots. Feet, not warm, but absolutely fine. Hands, well, I already told you about that. Left hand is very nice, thank you. Right hand is cold fingers. So, we'll keep riding. Alright, back to 32 degrees. That would be a ski resort there. Well, apparently I could continue doing this all day, well, all night. My right hand couldn't continue to do this all night. I feel a slight amount of coolness at the back of my legs. That's because I've been going higher speeds. Nothing to write home about. Legs perfect. Feet are perfect. Left hand is perfect. Right hand is cold. Nothing like it would be on a sport bike or something. It'd be unbearable and unable to ride, probably. Pretty sure of that. But you know, keeping your dexterity, not having these frozen digits, frozen feet, is a huge safety factor. When you got your facilities physically, you're safer. And I'm speaking from experience. So, if you buy electric riding gear, you know, the price from Harley, it's hefty. It's as good as anything I've ever seen. It is absolutely excellent. I'll give it my highest rating. But the investment lasts you for years. And just the confidence of knowing it's in your bag, or you're wearing it and you can turn it on whenever you want, it makes riding so much more pleasurable. I mean, I take electric gear with me in the summer, and I might be on the coast where it's cold, and you just never know what you're going to run into. And I know I'm always covered. You know, the electric jacket vest, well, I wear those as my insulation, my undergarment to my jacket, so I always have it. I just use it as a layer, and if I ever need to plug it in, boom, there it is. And with the Harley-Davidson system, you've got batteries that can power the pant, or can power the jacket, or can power the gloves. They're different batteries for the glove than it is for the jacket and the pant. But I highly recommend it. I don't know that there's anything that makes my riding more possible, more enjoyable than electric riding gear. So when I saw a release on Harley's gear, I said, let me have it. I want to try it. I want to report on how good it is or not. And the report is it's pretty much awesome. They've done a fantastic job of figuring things out. Only thing I have a problem with so far is the jacket liner has plugs for to go to the gloves, and they're in a zippered pocket on the end of the sleeve. Problem is, for most tight-fitting jackets like I wear, which keep you warmer, the wires are not long enough or easy enough to get to under your jacket. What happens is, and what you need to do when you're threading the wire through for a glove, is when you put the electric jacket on, you actually hold the wire for the glove in your hand, so it pulls through the glove. Well, these wires are not long enough to grab onto and do that with your hand. So, kind of a pain there. Those wires in the sleeves for the gloves aren't long enough. That's it. That's my negative so far, and you can see how the rest is working. You know, I got to thinking, why not show the other side of the coin? Why not ride in the same conditions without turning the electric riding gear on and demonstrate what it takes, how quick things get to you, and that's what I'm doing. So how did my body fare? No electrics turned on. Well, within about 3 minutes, my hands were getting cold. Within 5 minutes, my knees, my lower legs, a little bit of my upper legs are feeling cold. Not terrible, just definitely feeling cold. Feet, trying to get to it, hasn't done it yet. Okay, it's been just under 20 minutes, slow speeds, 40 miles an hour and less. 20 minutes in, my hands are done. My fingers hurt. I've felt much worse, but pain is setting in. Very, very cold fingers. My feet are starting to go. My lower legs, quite cold. Now I could take this to an extreme, and boy, have I been through the extremes many times in the past, but that's why I wear electrics. And rather than continuing to take this abuse, I'm going to turn on the electrics and see how well I recover. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes. I've had the heat on. I felt almost immediate relief. So started heating up very quickly because the Harley-Davidson gear uses, well, there's a trade name for it, and I don't think Harley uses it, but it's a thinner, smaller wire. It heats up very, very quickly. And another key element is that it uses less power. I mean, it's the best of both worlds. Your garment isn't as thick, you don't feel the wires the same, less electrical power needed, and a very quick warm-up. I mean, that's what it's all about, and it delivers A+. Well, here I go again, trying to freeze myself, doing a fairly decent job of it. I mean, what test of the Harley-Davidson electrically heated clothing would be complete without testing it not only on of course, a touring bike, but on a naked or close to naked bike, which I'm doing now. A little mole on the street. So it's about 30 degrees, maybe it's gone a little lower. And I'm playing with the heat between the pant and the jacket. I've got the socks on, I've got the gloves on. I've got freezing temperatures here. Okay. So, the gloves I simply have on battery. They're doing their job brilliantly, as they have every time. My hands are not cold. They are not warm. They're just there. Now, playing with the heat between the jacket and the pant, I mean, I had the pant full on with the remote controller on my arm there. The pant at full heat, and it was just flame on. But I'm getting lots of direct air on my legs, so electric pants don't have heating elements in the back of the leg, so back of the leg gets cool. But the front is just absolute flame on. I had to start turning it down, actually. My feet, they're not cold, but they are fighting to stay warm. They're getting cool. They're directly exposed to the elements. So when you get this kind of situation, semi-direct blast, you have a tougher job for the clothing to do, and to get things regulated the way you want them takes a little bit more, but it's all doable. This is the kind of stuff, say a sport bike rider or a cruising rider without any kind of fairing, you know, you're somewhere, you don't want to go home, you stay longer than you expected, and you get out and it's freezing. Well, guess what? It's painful. That's what this gear is all about. and it's doing its job. It's not like being behind a touring bike. Now I hope, as a result of this review, I hope Harley-Davidson gets a run on their electrically heated clothing. First of all, because the gear is that good, it deserves to be purchased. Secondly, what it does for your comfort when you ride is fantastic. I mean, I've used it for decades, and it's only better than it used to be. Heats up tremendously quicker than it used to. Their brand heats up tremendously, which is what I'm always after. I want the most heat I can get, which will cover me in all situations. And I have used that year after year after year to keep me going when most people would never keep going. So I actually hope they have a run on this gear because it's that good and it will enhance your riding that much. Decision, of course, is entirely up to you.